the Bank press conference. I'm Kayla Braxton, and it has been our honor here at the WWE to be able to visit here, O2 Arena, to deliver the very first premium live event in London in over 20 years. And I think we can all agree that our superstars delivered some unforgettable and history-making moments. And lucky for all of us, several of our superstars who were victorious tonight will be joining us back here to say a few words and answer some of your questions. We do appreciate all of you who are tuning in on your various social media platforms, and of course, all the media personnel who are here tonight. Now, again, we are going to take questions from you for our superstars, but in order to do that, if you have a question, make sure you raise your hand, and make sure you stand up so we can see you. We'll have people delivering microphones, and then state your name, your media affiliation, and ask your question, and we'll be off to the races. All right, you guys ready for our first guest?
Yes.
This man has been overcoming obstacles since his return to WWE, and tonight was absolutely no different when he defeated a thorn in his side and Dominik Mysterio. Please welcome the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes.
I was just telling Bayley backstage, my back was not feeling great, so I was really afraid I was going to sit down like Stanley in the Office, super old man, and you guys would know something. No, but I'm fine. How are all of you? Good. Who's got a question?
Yeah, let's take our first question. Who's it? Over there, will you stand up for us, please? State your name and your media affiliation.
Oh man,
Will Gavin, Talksport. Cody, how are you, sir?
So good. We had, seriously though, like, you guys all cover this business, so this whole thing, these tours over here, just gangbusters. These crowds, and we were in Newcastle last night on my side of things, and Sheffield, and just, it's a special thing that you got going on over here. It's one of the reasons when I was on my little excursion, I was here like every week with What Culture Pro Wrestling until I'm pretty sure I bankrupted them for the booking fee, but it's a special thing and you got to see it tonight.
It wasn't going to be my question, but now you've said that. John Cena teased WrestleMania in the UK. Your thoughts?
John is dead on in the sense that name a place that deserves it more. And listen, there's so many potential markets. I still sometimes like try to put on my business hat, and you look at all these different places. Back in the day, not saying things might have been fabricated, but back in the day you'd hear about people making bids on shows, and I don't know if there were any bids on shows, whereas today it's really happening. If you look at these Econ Impact reports, like for WrestleMania 39, my gosh, again, this business, like, be proud, you guys who cover this, as I'm sure you've been fans through the dark ages as well, right? When it wasn't as many people who were into this. This thing is mainstream, it's making, just it's doing so well. London for WrestleMania would be amazing. It really would, and it would be a very special thing. There's a lot of good places, but that would be special. I don't know if John knew something I didn't know though, right? I thought he was about to say it's happening. Like, oh wow,
We all did.
And he's the man, so John can say what he wants. Again though, he might know something we all don't know. So I hope that does happen for London. That would be very special, and I'd be all about it.
All right, thank you. Next question. Right here, yeah, perfect.
Delta Epic Mel Online. How do you feel like your momentum has recovered from WrestleMania?
If we're gonna get real, we don't have to get super inside baseball, but a little, I've got a very specific task that's in front of me. I've got a very specific, behind the scenes and on the camera, the thing that I want, the thing that I came back to get. And one of the things that, we were just talking about this guy, John Cena, told me. He said, you could be the champ without wearing the title, but you have to be honest with yourself. Look at the numbers. Everywhere you go, look at the numbers on everything that you put out. And if they're telling you that it's cruising and it's going, because there's a difference between soup du jour and, my gosh, equity and someone that we've gotten behind and has earned your trust and all of that. If those numbers support that, then you're on the right path. And I have been blessed that that's been the case. So momentum-wise, like I said, there's a task in front of me, and I feel we're on the right path.
Thank you. We have another question over here.
Hi, Ace, BBC Radio 1 Extra. Something else Cena did.
We did an interview together
We
before,
did.
haven't we?
How you doing, my friends? You good?
Good.
Excellent to have you in the UK. Cena did also mention tonight that there was a bit of worry about that upper management may have had about the crowds taking over the show. Tonight there was some kind of interesting chants. How do you feel about some of the chants tonight and the crowds perceivably taking over the show?
That's a great question.
I'm good at what I do. Still.
That's a great question. I am of the belief of if the crowd, and this is an area where I disagreed with my father actually, but I'm of the belief if the crowd wants to play, let them. Let it ride. Let it happen. Now, be mindful, sometimes you got, I particularly have a younger fan base. A lot of young kids. I don't know if all these chants are acceptable for them. So, you know, if you guys are gearing up as London, as the United Kingdom, gearing up for a potential WrestleMania, maybe keep that in mind. But we don't get that everywhere. Everywhere is different, really. I mean, WWE and these PLEs traveling internationally so much, we don't always get that. So when you get something that's a little different, that's a little, you know, unique in its own, that's what makes this special. That's what makes you guys, you guys. So I'm of the thought, if they're gonna rock, let them rock. You know, you hear some wild stuff, and I always have to ask, because I can't half the time understand, is that a really bad thing? Are they mad? You know, but I always ask, and it's fun. It's fun. The whole point, volume is not down. This isn't on mute. Like, the whole point is to get you guys up, excited, mad, whatever the hell it is. And just lately we've been able to strike that.
Great. And we have one more for Cody right over here.
Expressions oozing, representing Barstool Sports. Cody, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, but I feel like does my voice sound gravelly?
You're all good.
I want to point this out, but I don't want you to look, so don't look when I mention this, but Kayla do you have your Louis on?
I do not.
Oh, never mind. So she had Louis Vuitton flip-flops on earlier, and I thought they were pretty dope, but I didn't want to draw attention to them because there's a lot of like weirdo people about feet and stuff. But then I had my Louis slippers on, and it was a whole bit I was gonna do, and here.
I ruined it.
Here we go. You know.
Next press conference.
Oh no, that was it. First things first.
What was the question? Sorry.
Yeah, I got to it. So Cody, like, first things first, I'd like to apologise on behalf of the UK, but for the lack of pyro in your entrance. Do you know what I know? I know we're in the O2, but next time, maybe if we're in the stadium, we'll have all the pyro. But my question is, would winning the World Heavyweight Championship be finishing the story?
Oh man, I don't want to be a downer, but no. Now, winning the World Heavyweight Championship would be outstanding.
Yeah.
Would be amazing. It is the title on the flagship show, Monday Night Raw. Absolutely matters, is important, and what Seth is doing with it is a special thing, and you're gonna see that title will mean far more in 5 minutes and then in 10 minutes. Every second it gains equity. But finishing the story was always about the title that my dad didn't get. And I'm not gonna spoil anything because the Peacock people will murder me. But you'll probably hear some news about my documentary at some point soon, finally, because these people have been filming me for gosh knows how long, and it's covered a lot in there as far as that's what the story was. You know, he really did hold it, and he held it in the garden, and like, it ate me up that he never got it. So that's finishing the story. The World Heavyweight Championship is a whole nother story. It is, and again, very special. The main title on Monday Night Raw. I don't look down on it in any way.
Awesome. Well, Cody, thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
moving right along to our next guest. They both won their respective Money in the Bank ladder matches, meaning they possess a contract for a championship match anytime, any place for up to a year. Kicking it off with Mr. Money in the Bank, or Señor Money in the Bank as he prefers, Damian Priest. And, of course, Miss Money in the Bank, IYO Sky. Surprise, Bayley. Oh, mic down. All right, thank you all for joining us here. We're going to have some questions from our media, starting with gentlemen in the front.
Hi, Nick Hausman, House of Wrestling. A lot of tension between you two, it seemed, in the Money in the Bank ladder match. I think on behalf of a lot of fans, we'd like to know what's the status of damage control right now with you two.
We won. Yeah. Right? Yeah, we won. We were damage control. This is our briefcase.
There's no tension right here. We're good. We won. We did what we said we were gonna do.
I'm so happy.
All right, simply put, next question. We have one over here. Oh, there we go. You stand, yep.
Michael Martinez from Lucha Libre Online in Metro, Puerto Rico. How do you feel to be the first Puerto Rican to have a real opportunity to win the WWE title since Pedro Morales?
Ooh, that's good. You know, being able to represent your culture, your heritage is always something important, especially for me. You know, Puerto Ricans love them a good flag, so if I could represent it, it's an honor. And to your point, being able to be the first Puerto Rican to do it since Pedro, it's wild. It's because there's been so many Puerto Rican legends since, you know, with Sabio and Carlito and, you know, Carlito's dad. For me, you know, being in this position is wild to me, so it's an honor. That's the only word I can think of.
Great, thank you. We have a question back here.
Will Brazier from On Wrestling. Question to both of you. It's the first time you've won the briefcase. Are you going to seek advice from fellow superstars that have done it, or sort of carve your own path with the briefcase?
I mean, I don't go around asking advice how to do a choke slam, right? So, we know what the deal is. I see an opportunity, I cash in, win a title. You know, that's the goal. So, for me, seeking advice, yeah, maybe if it's right there in front of me, of course, it'd be silly of me not to take advice from somebody who's been there, done that. But ultimately, I've been doing things my way, and so far my way's been working. So I have a pretty good idea of what I want to do with this.
Okay, thank you. We have one up here.
Thank you. Hello, Steve Fall from 10 Count. I was in Puerto Rico and I saw that amazing match with you and Bad Bunny. Is there any chance that Bad Bunny could come back into the WWE, maybe joining Judgment Day? Maybe you guys to be back on the same page.
Really gotta talk about this?
I was a great match, match of the year, match of the year.
Yeah,
So
match of the year, yeah.
He was.
Is there a chance for him to come back and do what?
Come back into WWE and maybe join Judgment Day, work with
What?
you. Yeah, I was there. You had a great match. We come together.
Look,
Someone back there let me in.
look. That's not a question for me if Bad Bunny's gonna come back. I don't know. That's a question for him. As far as joining the Judgment Day, you have a better shot at joining the Judgment Day, which means 0.
Wow. All right, we've got one more question.
Make it good.
Hi, Luca from Open Wrestling TV Italy. Damian, speaking about tensions, what happened with Finn Balor? Can you elaborate on that?
Look, sometimes there's misunderstandings, and to be fair, we've had a few lately. But as far as the Judgment Day is concerned, Finn Balor and I are concerned, we're brothers, everything is good. I think he wasn't sure if I was there to cash in on him, which wasn't the goal. It wasn't an idea of mine. I did not want to do that. If anything, I wanted Seth to feel the pressure of me possibly cashing in, and I wanted Finn to win the title. Unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, and that's, you know, but I can't control that. Finn had the match won, just didn't win. I mean, that's nothing I can do about it.
Great, we have one more question.
Alex McCarthy, Man Online. IYO, Any plans on who you would like to cash in on? Who you got your eyes on?
Oh, and Bayley, I guess, since you're sharing it.
What was that?
Any plans on who you would like to cash in on?
そのうちわかるよ。USA。
Yeah, you guys are so impatient. She just got it 5 minutes ago. Give her. There we go.
I'm gonna celebrate.
Oh, celebrate!
Let's let these superstars celebrate. It's well deserved. Congratulations to all of you, and thank you for joining us. Alrighty, we're gonna keep moving along. Now these superstars were forced to relinquish their titles after Liv Morgan's injury several weeks back, but they came back tonight more powerful than ever to get their gold back. They are the women's tag team champions, Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez. Woo! Ladies, welcome. Thank you so much, and congratulations. That gold looks good on you. It belongs on you. I know we have several questions. We're going to kick things off. Gentlemen back here.
Hi guys, Ian Llewellyn from the Daily Mirror. I just wanted to ask you, well, first of all, congratulations on winning the titles back. Is there a particular sort of team or pair of wrestlers that you both have your eyes on that you would like to face first?
We were just talking about this.
There's so many because these WWE Women's Tag Team Championships, we can defend across every single brand. So that makes our options kind of like limitless.
Yeah, exactly. We have all the girls from NXT, Valentina, Yulisa,
Electra Lola. We have Lash and Jakara. I know they want some, so they could come get some.
And then
Sonya
SmackDown,
and Chelsea.
Yeah. Island, Alba, Hayden, and Katana. Like, the options are endless.
We're ready to defend these.
We know we have
anywhere,
targets on our
anytime.
backs, so I'm sure they're going to be coming and looking for us anyway. So we'll just wait and see.
All right, thank you. All right, another question. We have one up here.
Hopefully I don't get yelled at again. Hey, Steve of 10 Count. I start over again. I interviewed both of you in Puerto Rico, and I asked you about Cardi B and Megan Thee Stallion, and TMZ Sports picked it up, and they want this match to happen. SummerSlam's coming up. Could this be on the card?
Yeah, we laid it down on the table. If they want to pick it up, that is on them. We are ready,
Ladies,
girls.
the invitation has been sent. Feel free to accept or decline. It's on you.
Yeah, we want to easy on you.
I got it.
All right, we got one back here.
Yeah, Sean Thorne, BBC Sounds. What do you think happened with Shayna and Ronda Rousey? What kicked that out? That all seemed quite out of the blue.
I had a sense of like jealousy going on in there. Maybe like, some really long-term hate that's been building up for decades probably.
I don't know. I feel like we went over every single possible scenario that could, come from this match, every single outcome, and we did not for 1 second consider that, not even in the slightest. So, I don't know if you saw my face. I was shocked.
I do like to think though our fighting spirit really helped egg it to like push it over the edge. It really did send Shayna for just a little bit over.
I am excited to see what is to come with that though.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. Congratulations, and thanks for having a chat with everyone. All right, now it's time to bring out one of the most fashionable superstars, one of the most decorated superstars, and still world heavyweight champion, Seth freaking Rollins. Seth, thank you so much for joining us. Congratulations on retaining your title tonight. Yeah?
I'm good. Just a little adjustment there. Thank you. I appreciate you having me. Let's rock and roll.
Let's rock and roll. All right, first question.
I dealt epic man online. I just wanted to say congratulations first of all, but how does it feel to bring so much prestige to a title that's still relatively new to the company?
Yeah, man. I mean, every single time we're out there defending this World Heavyweight Championship, we're building it up. You know, we knew from day one that that was going to be the goal. You look at what Roman's done for the Universal title, it's very special. There's no comparison. We are working every single day, whether it's here tonight, whether it's Newcastle, whether it's Sheffield, doesn't matter where we go, what we're doing, this title's going to be on the line. Anytime I can defend it, and that's part of raising that prestige. Very old school in that way, you know, very Ric Flair, very Bret Hart, very Triple H, and so you know that's the way I'm gonna do it. By hook or by crook, man, I'm gonna fight, leave it all out there, and do my best.
Great, thank you.
Hey Seth, Expressions Oozing Barstool Sports. I was just wondering, how did the whole of the United Kingdom's tears tasted after you beat Balor, obviously in his hometown? Because there was a big supporter of him. How did the United Kingdom tears taste?
It's not quite his hometown, you know. He's
Ireland's a lot further than
he's from across the pond a little bit. Yeah, a bit closer. But you know what? I felt a lot of love out there tonight. I'll be honest with you, man. They were singing. They're probably singing in the streets right now. They were singing before I got out there. So I didn't really notice that. To be honest with you, Finn didn't really give me a chance to pay much attention to what was going on outside the ring. I mean, I'll put it to you bluntly, he beat the hell out of me in there tonight. He brought the fight, 7.5 years of pent-up frustration. He brought every single second of it. And so I love a crowd that cheers for who they want to see win. And we got both sides of that tonight. But like I said, man, I was just feeling the love out there. I thought everybody was singing my song. I don't know. I heard there was like an "Oh, Seth freaking Rollins." Yeah, so it was a good time. It was a good time for me out there.
Great. All right, we've got it right back here.
I said Joe Monty from Sport. You recently spent some time down in NXT against Braun Breaker. Is there anyone else down there you fancy stepping in the ring with next?
Oh man, I would be remiss to not mention the NXT champion himself, Mr. Carmelo Hayes. I think he's super talented. I would love to get in the ring with him. I think our styles would mesh really well. I mean, there's just, you know, a ton of cats down there. If I don't say Nathan Fraser, he's gonna beat me up. Hey, why didn't you give me a rub? You know, he's coming a long way. You know, he just had a fantastic match with Dragon Lee recently on NXT. I mean, there's a lot of up-and-coming talent down there. Carmelo's the one that jumps off the page to me, though.
All right. Last question for Seth.
Will Gavin, Talk Sport. You're a man who knows what it is to...
Wait a minute. Yeah. You told me that you didn't have any media obligations today, that you were just going to drink beer and party all day, and here we are at a media press conference. Did you get roped into this? How did this happen?
It doesn't mean I haven't been drinking all day. Let's ignore that. You're a man who knows what it is to cash in Money in the Bank, so talk to us a bit about the threat of Damian potentially on you and your title.
Yeah, man. I mean, I've done it. I've done it on the grandest stage in the biggest way, and so I understand. I knew the moment Damian Priest won that ladder match tonight, there was a chance that he was going to stick his nose in our business tonight, and he did. Fortunately, I was prepared for it for the most part. Didn't seem like Finn was, though. So very interesting in that regard. But yeah, man, I mean, that contract changes people's lives. So it changed mine. I mean, I wouldn't be sitting here holding this title, talking to you fine folks, doing the show if it wasn't for that cash in. And so Damian Priest has an opportunity to change his life. I just hope he doesn't do it at my expense.
All right, Seth, thank you so much and congratulations.
Cheers, guys. Thank you so much.
Tonight's press conference, and we couldn't have a press conference without bringing this legend out. He is WWE Chief Content Officer Paul Triple H Levesque. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you have a few words for our media here in attendance tonight.
I do, and I need my glasses to read them. First of all, thank you all for being here. I know it's you're all extremely good about traveling to the States when we put on events, and it's nice to be able to come over here once in a while and give you guys a home game to be a part of. So thank you for being here. Can't say enough about the UK, can't say enough about London, can't say enough about this whole tour. Crowds here, you know, I've been coming here for a long time, and it's always been one of my favorite places to be anytime there was a European tour. You knew it was going to be a blast. You knew that everybody that came out was going to want to get crazy. It's just only increased over the years. Your creative chants have increased, some for the better, some not, but yeah, but they've increased, and it's always a blast. You know, Cena said it in a wonderful way tonight, and I think you see it sometimes now at some of these shows in the way we're designing and building sets, like where there's a minimalist feature to it, because you know, the crowd is the star, and the crowd is the secret, and the crowd is what makes the excitement, and it's everything else. The bells and whistles are bells and whistles, but why we do what we do, why we go out there every night, why these talent go out there every single night, put their bodies on the line, do what they do, put their blood, sweat, and tears into it, is to entertain all of you. For people like you right there, little guy sitting there right there, you know, for everybody that's in here. It's why we do what we do. So I love the fact that you come here and make a spectacle of yourselves and enjoy it and have a blast and start to finish. It's so I thank you to all of you for that part of it. It's been an amazing week here, from Liverpool to Sheffield to Newcastle to Dublin, of course, tonight here in London. Tomorrow in Cardiff will be the same. Just everywhere we go here, it's awesome. It's wonderful to see, and it's and you know, thank you. A little bit on the performance side of this, tonight was the highest grossing arena event in the history of WWE. So let that sink in for a moment. In the history of WWE, it's a pretty long history. Highest grossing arena event in its history. Last night was the highest grossing SmackDown in WWE history. Those are two pretty bold statements that everybody here should be very proud of, and I know we're very proud of, so thank you very much for that as well. More than 37,000 fans over the last two nights just here in the O2 alone. And we'll have numbers this week because of the American holiday. It's going to take us a minute to get through all this, but sponsorship, merchandise, social media, all records for Money in the Bank. So we already know that. It's just getting the specific numbers. So, you know, successful week across the board. As far as the talent goes, you know, we hold our breath on events like this for everybody. You know, there's the risk-reward ratio of what you're doing, and you hold your breath as the Money in the Bank ladder matches take place and the high-risk moments and things that you know are going to happen. Happy to say that the only injury tonight was, and I'm not even going to say who it was because I don't want to embarrass them, but the only injury tonight was somebody on their way back from the ring after having done basically nothing, rolled their ankle on the walk back. Wonderfully successful night, and more importantly than that, everybody's healthy. So that's awesome. Men's Money in the Bank ladder match, Logan Paul showing again why I cannot believe he does what he does and as good as he is. He has no right to be as good as he is this early doing this, but damn it, he is. And my hat's off to him. He is fearless and gutless, and when you're looking at a guy like that on the holy crap moment, hanging with Ricochet on a holy crap level, like that's, like, you don't really need to say anything more than that. But Priest winning Money in the Bank ladder match, wonderful for him. I know LA Knight was a massive favorite coming in tonight, continuing that ascent. You know, great things come to those who wait, right? And I think that rise is just getting started. A lot of different things tonight, a lot of different scenarios. Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey having a moment, turning on each other that we didn't really, I don't think anybody saw coming out of anywhere. Don't know what that's all about. We'll get to the bottom of it, but certainly ended up with new tag champs, so congratulations to them. Gunther showing his dominance again, just at a different level of what he does and the physicality of what he does. You know, you can't really look at it and say, God, what's the crazy, spectacular thing he does? He just beats the living crap out of you. And that's why he does it better than anybody else. But when it comes to beating people up, Drew McIntyre's pretty damn good at it. So this should be an interesting thing to lead us into summer. Cody again showing why he's the top guy. John Cena, nothing to do in the afternoon. Thought he'd pop by here and just say hello. You know, I know he said it all out there, why he's here, why he did this, and is here for that. But truth be told, every now and then in life, you just need a shot of adrenaline, and there is no greater direct main line of adrenaline than standing in front of 18,000 people here at O2 Arena and just doing what you can't do anyplace else in the world. So, truth be told, he just needed that. IYO, just again, massive night for her. I thought the women had a spectacular Money in the Bank ladder match, very creative finish, literally walking over her Damage Control leader to get to the top of a ladder and claim her victory. Congratulations to her. Seth Rollins showing why he is the world champion tonight, and Damian Priest already showing what makes Money in the Bank the interesting sort of twist to all of this that it is. And then of course the Bloodline. What is it that you kids call it? Cinema? Storytelling is what we do, right, at the end of the day. And you know, there's a lot of special effects and there's a lot of stunts and there's a lot of different ways to tell stories. But at the end of the day, there's, you know, whether you're going to movies or whatever, there's everything is great for different reasons. But every now and then there are, you know, films that you go to that hang with you because the story, the emotions of it, all those things were just so impactful and they capture you. I feel like that's what these guys are doing, you know. And when you break that down, there's sort of a moment here where you have the biggest name, household name across the board for what we do, Roman Reigns, and he has elevated tag team champions and the tag team specialty group to main eventing WrestleMania, to beating him here tonight, just taking things to a whole level, elevating all those around him, elevating Sammy, elevating Kevin, elevating the Usos, elevating Solo. It's amazing what he's doing, and my hat's off to all of them. I thought they closed out a spectacular event here. And like I said, my hat's off to all of them, and I just want to say thank you to them because they are why everybody was here at the end of the day. So this all leads us to what should be a spectacular SummerSlam at Ford Field in just 5 weeks in Detroit. Now that we've come to your house, I expect to see all of you there in the States, in Detroit. And with that, I'll open it up to questions.
Great, thank you. We have our first question over here.
Alistair McGeorge from Metro UK, and really there's only one question, which is WrestleMania in London. How about it?
I didn't think that question was going to come up. Yeah. First of all, I'd like to say thank you to John Cena for putting me in an unenviable position right now. No matter what I say, I'm going to get battered for it. Look, as I said earlier, I have been coming here since the early 90s, and it's spectacular. Some of my favorite events here ever, and the favorite things I did in my career have happened here, even sometimes without the benefit of television or it being broadcast anywhere else. But you know, we used to do the what was it called, like insurrection or whatever we did here. You know, you know, years ago here, and they were always amazing events. The crowd here, the people here, the the reaction here is always off the charts. As far as WrestleMania goes, it's tough. I wish it was that easy. I wish it was as easy as say, it's like, man, that's phenomenal there. Let's go. Right? And we'd be going to a lot of places. But I can say this. If you look at this year alone, 2023 alone, for the last 5 premium live events that we have done have been in international destinations, right? And you can look back in the years prior to that, skip the COVID one, but look into the years prior to that. It's not really been a common occurrence. Montreal sold out record sales. Puerto Rico sold out record sales. Saudi sold out record sales. London here sold out record sales. Bodes well for international. We are a global company. We intend to be a global company. We intend to be global. So never say never for any of it, right? The intent is there. It's a lot more difficult than it appears, but the intent is there. And if there's a way to get a lot of these international events done, we're hell-bent on doing them.
Great.
Trent Krim, independent.
Hey, Triple H, Jerry Collins, Sports Matters TV. We just have to ask, look, there's obviously a huge demand here for pay-per-views in the UK. Surely we're going to get another one in the next 12 months. It's got to happen. I know Mania might happen in 2 years, 3 years in London, but surely you're back in 12 months for another pay-per-view.
Did you guys plan to have a follow-up? Of course. I'm ready for it.
And I will mention Ireland. Look, Ireland is something in the long run, but look, surely we'll get something.
I've heard of it. Yeah, I've heard of it. Yeah, yeah, like I said, it's a big world, right? And we're a global company, and we're looking to get out there and to get to these locations. And there's not a corner. Well, there are no corners in the world, I guess. That's why it's a weird statement, isn't it? I've been everywhere, pretty much that there is to go on this planet, and I've never been anywhere where they're like, "Who are you guys again?" You know, it's amazing. The fan base of WWE. It's one of the truly, and maybe only truly global sports where there's no place in the world that they don't understand what we do, get it right away, and know who the superstars are, right? It's just a matter of geography of getting there, and when you have to factor in live televisions and all those other things, and you know the amount of people you need to get to a destination to be able to put on the spectacle that we put on. It's not just the talent, right? It's a lot. The intent is to eventually get to all those places. Is it in the next, few months? I'm not really, that all takes a lot of planning and logistics and everything else, but we're working on it. I promise you, just like I said about WrestleMania, we're working on all of it. We want to get everywhere. We want to see all of you. We want to be there in person. We want to break new markets. It's a global company. I think the future is that is where we are headed in the future, and that future is bright. So.
Good job.
We have one back here.
Nabe from Sky, Triple H. Lovely to have you here. I'm going to take the pressure off you. No more questions about WrestleMania and travelling.
Trying to have answered it now, yeah.
You're a huge West Ham fan. Declan Rice has left. How do you feel about that?
You can't get too deep into that stuff, dude. It'll wear you out over here. It's the one thing about the football over here, right? You start getting too deep in anything, like I don't know, you guys, it feels like you just trade people, move people, like you can't, I don't know, I can't even keep track of it. It's too busy.
All right, one more question.
It's all dudes in here? What's going on?
What's wrong with me?
Particularly just another dude, I'm just saying.
Alex McCarthy, Man Online. Congrats on a great show again, Paul. Drew McIntyre made the return tonight. Obviously, rapturous ovation. Hadn't seen him since WrestleMania. A lot of talk about his status with the company. You were instrumental in bringing him back in the first place for his second run. Is that a priority of yours to lock him down?
No.
Yeah. It's always a funny thing of the amount of speculation that happens around things. I can say this, just like I read stuff, we see stuff all the time, right? That's printed and put out there, and people say, sources say. I don't know, I put like 75% of it is completely off base. If Drew had an issue, it's news to me, right? He just was out with an injury and getting some stuff fixed, and while he was out, he had something else he wanted to get fixed, so we did it. And here he is. He's an amazing performer. He is one of the, the highlight superstars in this time frame, in this era. Thrilled to have him back, and hopefully he's here for the rest of his career. That's how I feel about it. And I think he and I speak about it all the time. When all this stuff was coming up, it's funny, we'd talk on the phone here and there, and he'd be like, just laughing, like, oh my God, have you read this now? It just is what it is.
Awesome. Thank you all. Any final
Is there one female reporter in here?
Okay, we have one back there. Let's get one more.
The pressure's on now. It's got to be a good question,
Will
right?
you stand up for us and state your name? There you go.
Hi, sorry, Norrin Flanders, the Daily Mirror as well. We've asked about WrestleMania, we've asked about premium live events. Can we ask about NXT Europe? There's a lot of British and European and Irish talent here. We saw some of them on the card this weekend. There's a lot more out there that kind of deserves their shot. It's been a bit quiet on this front. Has the UFC takeover slowed things down? Is it something that's still on the table? Do you have any kind of update, please?
First of all, let's get this UFC takeover. Straighten that out right here, right? Yeah, it's just slow down the process. I think, terrible with time. At some point, I don't know, end of the year, last year, whatever it is, we said in 23 it would happen. I not having a crystal ball to see where everything was headed in that moment in time. Obviously, this transition with this merger with UFC, with Endeavor and TKO, it's changed the time frame. But I think the intent is still the same. I mentioned it under the premise of WrestleMania and premium live events going global. We're a global company. We're looking to be everywhere. And I think as you pointed out, there are a lot of amazing talent here internationally. And we'd love to explore that and give them opportunities to shine on the biggest stage possible and see what we can do with that. Just gonna take a little bit of time.
Thank you. Any final comments before we say goodnight?
Just again, thank you all very much for being here. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to seeing you in Detroit.
All right, thank you so much.